It is 7 o'clock in the evening. Frank and Ben have decided to ignore Aunt Petunia's 9 o'clock curfew. They have decided not to take a long walk or cut her grass. Instead, they have decided to go downtown. They've decided to go where the action is. Let's go where the action is, says Frank. But what if we get into trouble with Aunt Petunia, asks Ben. Oh, we'll just make up some story, answers Frank. Like we got kidnapped by some sex-starved females. Oh, she'd totally flip out if you told her that, says Ben. She'd call the police or maybe have us read the Bible to get rid of our bad thoughts. As the two boys move along, however, they forget about Aunt Petunia and start wondering what it would be really like to be kidnapped by some sex-starved females. They both walk, and finally they get to a bridge that crosses a river. The river is very windy and narrow, and the water is brown and muddy. On the other side of the river is a street with restaurants and small businesses. We must be getting close to the downtown, says Frank. This is where the action is. What are we going to do, asks Ben. Hang out somewhere and pick up some girls, of course, answers Frank. You just have to find the right place. So they continue to walk until they come to a very wide and busy street called Portage Avenue. This must be the main drag, says Frank. Look over there. You see those tall buildings? Let's head for those buildings and look for a good place to pick up some girls. So they continue to walk until they come to a big downtown shopping center. They go inside the shopping center and immediately find themselves in a very big cafeteria. It is like the cafeteria in the Rideau Center in Ottawa. There are people sitting at different tables. It is not nearly as crowded as the cafeteria in the Rideau Center. Still, there are more young people than old people in it. They are hanging out at different tables. This is the place, Frank says. Now we've just got to play it cool and wait for the right opportunity. After they bought 2 big soft drinks that come in 2 big paper cups, they sit down at a table. They sip on their drinks and try to act cool. Frank keeps his sunglasses on, and so does Ben. They sip on their soft drinks and lean back on their chairs. They look around and observe the action. Not far from their table is a table full of boys and girls. One of them, a tough-looking boy wearing a leather jacket, notices Frank looking at him. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like Frank leaning back in his chair and looking over at him with his sunglasses. He doesn't think it's cool. He thinks it's provocative. He makes a joke to one of his friends. It is a boy with red hair and a lot of freckles sitting right next to him. The boy with red hair and freckles laughs and then looks over at Frank and Ben. Both of the boys look scornfully at them. Then the boy with the red hair and freckles says in a loud voice, "Look at those couple of frogs sitting over there." All the boys and girls at the table then turn their attention towards Frank and Ben. A few start to laugh and snicker. Some of them imitate the tough-looking boy in the leather jacket and the weak-looking boy with red hair and freckles. They look scornfully at Frank and Ben as if they had done something stupid. Then Ben all of a sudden realizes why they are laughing at him and Frank and why they are calling them frogs. All of a sudden he wishes he hadn't worn his t-shirt. He put it on without thinking that it might cause trouble. He put his J'aime le Québec t-shirt on because it was clean and his other t-shirts were dirty.